Hi, my name is Sean McHugh, and I am in Dr. Clark's Grand Canyon University's MMS 540 class. Case 13.2, Susie, located in chapter 13 of our textbook, is about a student named Susie who is 10 and a half years old and in the third grade at the time of assessment. Susie underwent 3 different types of assessments to help determine if Susie qualifies for special education. I will be speaking as the role of the special education teacher who has Susie as part of my caseload. I have scheduled a meeting with fellow IEP stakeholders to discuss the data from the assessments that were requested by Susie's parents. Hello, Susie, Susie's parents, and to all other members of Susie's IEP team. I hope this meeting will help everyone gain insight into Susie's current levels of academic progress and determining the academic path forward for Susie. This may or may not include Susie being placed in formal special education. Susie underwent 3 different assessment methods: Wechsler Intelligence Scale for Children, 5th edition, Woodcock-Johnson, the 4th test of achievement, standard and extended battery, and tests of auditory perceptual skills. The main academic concern currently for Susie is reading development. Based on the referral background information, Susie has struggled with reading since she was in kindergarten. There are no vision, hearing, or physical problems associated with Susie. Information learned from previous parent conferences and classroom observations of Susie indicate Susie gets along with her peers and behaves age appropriately. Susie has no issue with staying on task on assignments. 3 different assessments were given to Susie to test intellectual ability, overall academic knowledge, and auditory perceptual skills. The 3 different types of assessments were given to Susie to provide data in multiple ways to help determine Susie's academic future. The first assessment data we will discuss comes from the Wechsler Intelligence Scale for Children, 5th edition. The results from this particular assessment indicate that Susie scored in the low average borderline portion of the age-appropriate intellectual ability grading scale. The second assessment data set comes from the Woodcock-Johnson 4 Test of Achievement Standard and Extended Battery. This particular assessment tests for overall academic knowledge with a focus on reading and math skills. The third assessment data set comes from Test of Auditory Perceptual Skills. This assessment is exactly what the name says, testing for listening and perceptual skills. Reviewing the data generated from the multiple different assessments and data sources gives the entire present levels of academic progress. Each assessment tests different areas of Susie's overall academic development. Multiple methods are used to assess student learning and behaviors because it gives a more well-rounded picture of Susie's present level of academic comprehension. All 3 assessments given to Susie indicate Susie is behind developmentally with reading specifically. It was noted that Susie works well with peers and also high school age students who help tutor Susie. Some of the notes included that Susie takes slightly longer time to process sounds and words. One change to Susie's learning plan could be to accommodate Susie with more time to complete certain assignments, allowing Susie to use pictures or digital picture to help with word comprehension and retention. These applies to all of Susie's classes. The ethical guidelines and legal procedures that were applied begin with Susie's parents requesting assessment for special education. Thank you for doing that. Ethical guidelines also include administering 3 different assessments to provide a full picture of Susie's current academic levels. In addition to the formal assessments, we also spoke with Susie's parents and conducted multiple observations of Susie while she was in class. Specifically, before sending Susie into formal special education, Susie could benefit from more support with reading and language arts. Information should be given to Susie visually and audibly. Providing Susie with new material will help engage Susie more actively in her responses. Phonemic awareness is an area that Susie needs additional support.